Hello and happy Thursday, everyone. Today we will be doing a rundown of Dev Diary number 98, talking about the open beta hotfix, which still has some problems, but we'll get into that. Update 1.5, achievements and additions. So, there's some new content, but for the most part, this is going to be a relatively short Dev Diary. So, first things first, the context behind what's going on with the open beta hotfix. The open beta on patch 1.5.4 had several issues, or two really major issues, as no migration was occurring, and they fixed that, although now it looks overtuned and like it's not listening to migration laws. And second, places were not employing up properly, and they fixed that. However, another kind of game-breaking-ish bug was introduced, which is that, when they improved the AI, which is really nice, desire to build up troops, they made it so that they would create basically infinite armies, which doesn't seem to be causing crazy performance issues, but it causes the AI to way over recruit, and it's because they want to create armies in a particular HQ, but they can't create a targeted HQ, so they just keep creating them in the wrong HQ instead. And this leads to just this massive overinflation of armies, which is just, the AI basically can't play at this current juncture. However, the devs on the Discord said that this has been fixed in the version that they have, and so I'm guessing, they said they were going to discuss what they're going to do with it. I'm guessing it will be released tomorrow, and for me, who's not living in Sweden time, this tomorrow is maybe 12 to 18 hours from now, and so by the time you're watching this, it might be fixed, and so on and so forth. So, they're going to discuss it. We introduced some mechanics, which turned out were quite ready for release. And so now we will kind of talk about what the bug fixes are. Occupying a state may remove the fronts from the war. They fixed this. Crashed desktop in some cases where a front was destroyed. Fixed. Trade route caravans not visible. Not important to me, but it is fixed. Occupation not visible. AI is 100% infantry. In fixing this, they did create the barracks problem. I am thinking is how that worked. This job sucks. This is the one where they could not employ up properly. They give a full description, but it was basically like a clerk would become a capitalist, and then he would compare himself to all the other capitalists, look at his own wealth, and suddenly hate his job, and then, seek out a new job. And so it kind of makes sense. And then the migration basically categorically did not work, and they fixed that. So these are kind of all the fixes, and I just wanted to get that out of the way real quick, because that might be the information that people are kind of looking for, at least right now, is can I play, should I play, this sort of thing. Okay. Now let's have the content stuff. Hello, this is Victoria, and today we will be going, hey Victoria, game's named after you. We will be going over the long-awaited improvements to the Paris Commune content, made in 1.5, along with some miscellaneous improvements that did not make it to the previous Dev Diary. There are going to be 6 new achievements in patch 1.6, not yet lost, as Krakow formed Poland, Lithuania, and get the expanding the Commonwealth journal entry. That'll be cool. Viva la Confederación, as Bolivia successfully formed the Peru-Bolivian Confederation. I think Bolivia is actually a neat place to play in now that they buffed La Paz and they buffed the entire Andes to not have as big a construction malice, this sort of thing. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm assuming this is, Romanian. Form Romania and directly control all Romanian homeland states. Stonks. We definitely like the stonks. We're definitely going to be lifting this and using this image a whole lot in, everything. But have 3 companies at max prosperity at the same time. Banana Republic, have a company, United Fruit Company, and have at least 75 banana plantations. It is locked behind Yankee or Dixie, and is pretty strong as far as companies go. I think giving 20% plantations throughput as a result of its prosperity bonus, at least at this juncture. And then SPQR, as the Papal States become the Roman Republic and then form Italy, which of course, why would you do that when you could continue just being the Roman Republic? Who knows, but it is an achievement. Okay, on to the Paris Commune. Joining the improvements to the Divided Monarchist and other Voice of the People content, given in patch 1.3.4, the Paris Commune journal entries received significant improvement. Rather than the player playing both sides in the crisis, making decisions for both the Commune and Versailles government, the player will be invited to pick one side in the beginning, with the AI decisions suiting the other side. This adversarial system creates a race between the player and the AI to advance their respective causes, and bringing the Commune to either ruin or triumph. Okay, so rather than just harmlessly withering away, the Paris Commune exists for as long as it exists, will now serve as a leech from the French economy, siphoning away at your treasury to keep itself afloat. perhaps this is the French nerfs we need. Instead of facing a bankrupt commune in an event of the Civil War, it will now be fully functional, having preserved arms and gold reserves with which to strike back against the Versailles government. So this is really nice. Very pleased about a lot of the flavor. More foreign interaction with the commune has been added. When the commune merges, foreign nations that are either left-wing or in character or very simply very opposed to France will be willing to recognize the commune as the legitimate government of France, providing bonus to the speed of the advancement. So I assume this means that you can try and improve relations with these guys as well in terms of agency playing as the commune. I haven't explored this all, but this seems very, very cool. New bug fixes, which will be great. All the bug fixes. And it should ensure that the Paris Commune event, Paris Commune is less of an outside of context problem, but more of an organic, smooth component of the French gameplay experience. I haven't done the Commune as France. Their capitalists seem extremely strong, so I assume you want to fight the Commune. In terms of, well, depending on when it pops, but yep. The French Commune rework will be available to owners of the Voice of the People DLC. Okay. Miscellaneous additions, frontier colonization. So they have a new law, or a new law in the colonial affairs, and it is going to be kind of, placed in for the USA right now, which is that you get extra migration in unincorporated states. You get plus, which is migration attraction in unincorporated states will mean that a whole bunch of their places that aren't incorporated, are going to really, really have a super heavy pull from the USA. You get extra colonial growth generation. I think that's the standard 0.2, 0.1 per level. And also, colonization here is limited. Well, perhaps you can't see my thing that I'm hovering, but it says colonization is limited to states connected to the country borders by land. And so this will prevent the USA from colonizing Africa, but will perhaps be a better colonization law overall. Someone in the Discord was suggesting that this would be cool on Japan, so they could colonize Hokkaido, which would be a nice beginning thing. And also, the rural folk support it, and so the rural folk in armed forces, I'm guessing no one really opposes it. And so maybe this is a sensible law pass. I'm guessing you still go exploitation or resettlement for the most part, but this will maybe add a little bit of flavor and texture. And I think I need to look at them side by side and see exactly, I forget if resettlement is plus 50% migration attraction in unincorporated states or it's plus 50% in colonies or something like this, but I think they get a similar bonus. Haven't checked, but this is very exciting. In the United States, American rural folk have been given flavor, very nice, along with new ideology that reflects their unique heritage, small holding colonial settlers. The Jeffersonian ideology makes the rural folk support universal suffrage by default, along with making them more resistant towards agricultural collectivization. This addition will be much more difficult to make the American franchise. This addition will make it much more difficult to reduce the American franchise from what it is at game start. So we're going to see a very, stuck in rural folk. Now, a new ideology. There we go. So Jeffersonian, we can see they endorse agrarianism, they hate command economy, they like homesteading, which you start on, and they like consumption-based taxation, no surprise, no one wants taxes, and they like universal suffrage, which is perhaps the big one. Of course, you can't do that with USA on game start, if I'm not mistaken, as a result of them having slavery. Okay. So next up we have the Red Scare. Historically, the rise of socialist states has not come without a shockwave being sent around the world. The 1.5 patch includes content for the Red Scare, triggered by a diplomatically relevant nation adopting Council Republic law. And so, obviously they're scared. They're scared of the Red Menace. The Red Scare will periodically fire events dealing with reaction to the international communist movement within your nation, starting mistrust against progressive interest groups. The player may choose to side with the reactionaries or sacrifice the strength of trade unions in return for domestic tranquility, or may choose to stand for progress, angering the upper class in exchange for continued power of the lower. So this, I think, will be actually a lot of fun, and will give the player more agency for going Council Republic. Currently, especially for players that are maybe less experienced, because currently, it's fairly easy to go Council Republic if you know what you're doing in terms of manipulating the IGs, but it can feel difficult otherwise, and the trade unionists are a really powerful IG, and so The fact that you are sacrificing the strength of the trade unions for domestic tranquility is a non-zero sacrifice. I think it will maybe add some interesting decisions. We'll see exactly what happens. We do see the white immigrés, which is giving migration attraction and Council Republic pop support now. We see red baiting, which is giving anti-communist ideology to someone who is a leader, and this is giving popularity, which is going to empower the fascists. Whilst the Red Scare will fizzle out eventually, the decisions made during this tumultuous period are certain to haunt the nation's politics for years to come. Sounds interesting. As a bonus, AI communist countries have been giving 3 new strategies that they may choose from. Fantastic, which will change their attitude towards the outside world, including the most aggressively interventionist strategies in the game so far, including one of socialism in one country. They will try and keep capitalist powers at bay while it develops a mature socialist economy. Anti-imperialism will support unrecognized states and contain the expansion of imperial powers. This one sounds really interesting. Obviously, this is AI behavior I've complained about in the past, but I think when it is clearly on a strategy, it's less problematic than the AI just randomly intervening over, what should be not a big deal colonialism, as it were. And then world revolution, they will seek to spread their socialist revolution around the world, converting other nations to their causes. This is the particularly interesting one. I'm guessing it's hyper aggressive. It probably just causes them to implode and to hurt themselves on just declaring too many wars, but we'll see exactly how that goes. There's clothing additions, new additions to uniforms, and modernized Japan joining the ranks of countries with unique uniforms for their generals. Now, this is not something I pay super close attention to, but look how snazzy they look. Very dapper. Very, very dapper indeed. As mentioned, all non-devout Japanese characters will now adopt westernized clothing following the Meiji Restoration. Cool. Brazil, the Ottoman Empire, and modernized Japan as well will have new soldiers' uniforms, which will display for soldier officer pops in the screen. So I'm guessing that these are these look like the Japanese, these look like or it also says Ottomans, and then these look like the Brazilians. The Romanov family, even more content. As a free bonus, patch 1.5 includes every credible Romanov claimant as character for Russia, along with some events pertaining to their fates and events for the beginning of the reigns. And so this will be interesting. I think that one of the things that's lacking in the game is there's currently not a lot of agitators, especially for non-Western countries. And so you're kind of just like twiddling your thumbs a little bit with the agitator mechanic with countries that are in Asia and this type of thing. And so it will be nice to see them kind of going out of their way to add agitators. And here we see a bunch of agitators for the Romanovs, the illness of Nikolai Romanov, the ascension of Nicholas II, etc. Each star will start their reign with a bonus to the political strength of a certain social class, and in some cases will encourage the appearance of advisors that are compatible with their specific ideology. And so this is very exciting. We see, kind of a tooltip here. Guy becomes a ruler, gets great reformer, extra bureaucracy, and this type of stuff. And market liberal characters will be more likely to appear in Russia for the duration of Alexander Romanov's reign. I believe this is the guy that you, with every Russia start, you kind of cheese coming into power as quickly as possible. And it's now cool that he gets even stronger. And so this will be interesting. And then it has an entire list of all the Romanovs, birth of Alexei, and okay. Now we have the Age of Caudillos. Currently, all South American countries' armed forces begin with the Caudillissimo, I think, ideology, representing the trend of military strongmen dominating the region's politics through the early 19th century. Patch 1.5 expands on this with the addition of the Age of Caudillos journal entry, allowing South American players to either embrace Caudillissimo or attempt to combat it. Okay, and so what's this going to do? Extra armed forces political strength, pop attraction, political strength of officers, and the progress bar is full. How long will this last? Does this last forever? Oh, that's interesting. If failed, they get this permanently, which gives extra armed force political strength, armed force pop attraction. Ooh, that is spicy. That will really stick in, the military. As you play, the progress bar will deplete or filled, depending on certain conditions, ticking towards either a military or civilian-leaning conclusion. That is fascinating. That is very, very interesting. Skimming over this, I didn't take a super close look, but this is an interesting, localization or local kind of thing for South America. However, if one can resist the temptations of absolute rule, in the Age of Caudillos can come to an end, and South American militaries may be brought firmly under civilian control. Okay, and that is all. Thank you for reading. Thank you for posting. While the open betas continue strong, we may make any last-minute additions, bug fixes, and balance tweaks until you're suggesting on the Discord prior to the 1.5 release. We have one more surprise in store for you. Next week's Dev Diary will happen on Wednesday, October 25th, and that is the 1-year anniversary of the game, rather than our regular schedule, and we will contain the exact release date of the update, among other information. Till then, Victorians. Yep, so this is, again, a lot of local stuff regarding kind of the bugs. I'm guessing they will probably have some sort of hotter fix to their hotfix, given the state the game is, at least in this morning, and we will see kind of how that rolls out. But I hope you enjoyed. Have a happy Thursday. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it, and other than that, have a happy Thursday.